Before you do any of this, you should empty your sand tank. And usually take it to the end of season. We usually take it to the sand pump it out, fill the tank full of water, pump the sand tank out again, empty it out, fill it full of fresh water second time, pump it all out again. That's how we flush the black water tank.
That's how we keep it from stinking.
Right. Yeah, we try not to let stuff sit in there for long periods of time, especially if it's hot out during the summertime.
Hear the voice within, calling this heavy.
So, time to winterize the boat. How do I winterize the boat and why? So, if I'm moored on saltwater, which I usually am, winterizing and put a couple heaters in the boat, and anything that's within about 6 inches above the waterline and below really won't freeze because I'm in Puget Sound and the water temperature usually stays a little above 40 degrees. However, today is different. I am being hauled out tomorrow to have the 500-hour engine maintenance done to the Yamaha. It's the routine stuff. At 500 hours, there's some extra stuff in there that needs to be looked at. That's a little bit beyond a do-it-yourself. I've already done all the routine maintenance to it, so I'm going to have the Yamaha shop do the 500-hour. And it's the first time the engine's actually been to a Yamaha dealer, technically, to be looked at. So this will be interesting. But they're expecting it to be 20 degrees tomorrow night, and I'm expecting the boat to be out on dry dock overnight. So I got to pretend I'm on a trailer and winterize the boat. So how do I do that? So basically it's the freshwater system I've got to take care of and the sanitary system. The boat's got PEX piping throughout it. PEX piping can withstand freezing temperatures with water in it. However, you don't want it chock full of water and pressurized. So what I do is I drain all the water out of the system. So right now I come over and I've got, it's like a half a tank of water right there. So I need to run half a tank of water overboard. And once we go, and so high level, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drain the water, empty the water tanks. I want the water tank to be empty. I'm not going to put any antifreeze in it. Then I've got to go ahead and run RV antifreeze through the toilet, through the shower sump, because we do use the shower. I don't want anything that's basically a bilge pump underneath the shower sump to pump out, so that needs RV antifreeze in it. I'm going to throw a couple gallons of antifreeze down the toilet into the sand tank, and I'm going to go and run antifreeze through the two aft bilge pumps, the mid and the aft bilge pump. And that should do it for us. In addition, since I know I probably won't have shore power for a couple of days, I'll be running off of solar. Then I rig the boat for reduced electro. I shut both the refrigerators off. I pull the fuse on the AIS just to minimize the amount of electrical loads on the boat. So with that, let's get started. We've got about 20 gallons left approximately, probably a little bit over that. Still got hot water. Water tank is empty. I leave all the valves open because I want air to get in the system so that it can actually drain. Don't forget there are 4 sinks on the R27. There's the head, the galley, back. I have the transom sink. Open up all the valves. And the last one, don't forget about the shower. Open this one as well. We'll come back to this one in a minute. Alright, so now that the water tank is empty, the tank itself has been emptied. Now I need to get all the piping to have all the water run out of that. So the simplest way I've figured out is if you look at this picture of the boat being built without the salon on top, you can clearly see the water lines. And what I've found is the low point is actually at the hot water tank, and it's PEX piping, so it comes apart easy. So I come down here in the starboard lazarette. Alright, so I got PEX piping, red's hot, blue's cold. They're just on finger tight. So I just unscrew the hot water tank. You have to take both of them off. And then the bottom one, because remember, he's still got a lot of hot water, or a lot of water in him. It's not hot anymore. Yeah. And I just let that drain all the way to the bilge. And while that's draining, I turn the head sink all the way on. I did dead center between cold and hot because I want air to go on both sides. Take the galley, leave it open. Dead center between cold and hot. Then I'll come back here to the transom sink. Make sure both hot and cold are turned on. This is also a good time to test your automatic bilge pumps because that water is going to make it in the bilge and the bilge pump's going to pump it overboard.
Hopefully.
And if it doesn't, you hit the manual switch, then you know you got a problem. Still draining. And once that's done draining, I'll reconnect the connections. You don't want to leave them disconnected in case stuff would get inside. That's where all the water's going to go. You see that silver hose down there? That's actually the hose to the shower sink, or the shower transom rather. So once the water is all emptied, then I will take that transom shower, pull the hose all the way out, hold it above my head with it wide open, let all that water drain back out in the system. So I don't put RV antifreeze at all in the freshwater system. It would take me forever to flush it to get the taste and stuff back out of it. And for the winter time, we use the boat usually at least once a month, maybe twice, but we usually don't do a lot of overnighters, a lot of day trips in the off season. So we don't really need water. So once I winterize it the first time for the season, I usually just leave the tank empty for the rest of the season. But we also have to winterize the shower sump and the toilet. And we'll go over that here in a few minutes, as well as the raw water wash tub. Don't forget about that either. All right. Let any of the water in here all drain out back into the system. So one thing is I leave this open because I want air to get into it to let the water drain out, right? But then come springtime, when I repressurize the system and I have to flush all the air out of it, don't forget about this one when you put water back on. Otherwise it'll leak back here and it runs inside the transom. Don't ask me how I know that.
Experience?
Reconnect the hot and cold water.
You're reconnecting them?
Yeah.
Just the cold or both?
Both. You don't want to leave pipes exposed for stuff to get inside. I mean, it could be insects or dirt or debris. But there, so I know she's empty. All the water's down to the bilge. All the valves are open, so that emptied the system of fresh water. And then went the automatic bilge pump, so it's working. So for moorage, when I'm in the water, I use this pally heater. It's I think it's 400 watts, low 300s. I have it mounted right here. I leave it here year round. It plugs in right here. Now this electrical outlet has a safety switch right above. This is labeled grill on the AC outlet, but it can actually be used for other things as well. The safety switch right here, when the lid's on it, it's depressed and it cuts off that outlet, right? So I have to put something to keep it. So this is a little, a little bungee the dog chewed up. So I usually just stick it right there. That way when the lid comes down, it doesn't depress the button, and that way I can use it in the wintertime. And in the wintertime, we take the grill off the boat. All right, for this next feat, we're gonna winterize the toilet. Here's how I do it. So 2 things in the head. One is the shower sump, which sits under there. It's just a box with a bilge pump in it. So all I do is pour a gallon or 2 of RV antifreeze down the drain, let it pump out. And then the rest of it all goes down the toilet because I want it in the sand tank. This, you just wait until you hear the bilge pump kick on. The sump pump, I should say. I need to clean my drain. Drain's really slow. I got too much hair in there. Probably dog hair.
They don't take showers? Probably mine.
There we go. That's 3 gallons of RV antifreeze down the toilet. It's about 2 gallons down the sump. Shower sump's what I use. I take a Ziploc bag, a couple of tie wraps, and some wire cutters. This part usually takes 2 people.
Camera?
Mm-hmm.
Nice one needs to be changed.
The what?
Hit down on the, yeah. Keep hitting down until it's bright enough. Okay. That's good.
Oh, perfect. No, that's good. All right, so I'm actually sitting in salt water. So that valve for about what I'm going to do. That's the sea chest. So this right here needs to be shut. And then I'm going to pull this off. And I'm going to put a Ziploc bag under it, fill it full of RV antifreeze. Then I'm going to have LaZina go in and flush the toilet as I squeeze the RV antifreeze into it, because I want the RV antifreeze to go into here until she sees pink coming out of the toilet. It's dirty. Alright, so go into the head and flush the toilet.
Until you tell me to stop?
Yep. Until you see pink. Until you see pink. You got pink? All right. That's all we do. And I didn't do the raw water wash down. Hit the sprayer.
Huh?
Hit the sprayer.
The one over here?
Yeah.
The raw water?
Yep.
There we go. It's still going. Huh? No. Yeah.
Now to do the bilge pumps, do the same trick. Fill the Ziploc bag up, stick the bilge pump in the bag. And do a forward bilge pump first.
I need to go push the buttons. Turn it on?
Yep.
Which one is it?
Mid. That's good. Go turn on the aft bilge pump.
Okay.
All right, turn it off. There you go, turn it on.
Okay.
Okay. All right, hard stuff's over. That was even hard. All right, so recap. We went and drained the entire water system, left all the valves open for the head, the galley, transom sink, transom shower. We disconnected the hot and cold water pipes to the hot water tank, let all the water drain to the bilge. Then we went and ran RV antifreeze through the raw water washdown and up through the toilet. We put 3 gallons of RV antifreeze down the toilet, 2 gallons of RV antifreeze I put down the shower sump, right, to winterize that. And then we also did RV antifreeze through the mid and the aft bilge pumps. I didn't do the bow bilge pump because it never gets wet, so there shouldn't be any water in it. It's never seen water, so. I don't want any water in my bilge to freeze either. It doesn't take as long as you might think. Alright, now let's get that here without spilling it. There we go. Dry bilge. First water system is winterized.
Okay.
If I missed anything, be sure to leave that in the comment section below.
If you enjoyed watching this video, click the screen to watch another.